Hey man, I'm Jusko from Proud Money. It is official that the Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines rewards programs have been put together into a newly rechristened Atmos rewards program, and along with that official announcement is the launch of the Alaska Airlines Atmos Rewards Summit Visa, which is a high-end luxury premium, however you want to talk about it, travel credit card from Alaska Airlines. It has a $395 annual fee, has some pretty interesting features that could really get you excited or might turn you off depending on your perspectives. Now, like any high-end travel credit card, Alaska Airlines and their issuing partner Bank of America are going to heap on a huge list of perks and rewards to make you think you are just getting the moon for $395. But as far as I'm concerned, there are some main features that you might be looking at in a card that are going to justify that annual fee to you or not. And then there's a lot of stuff that is sort of gravy. And if you like the main features, then the gravy is gravy. If you don't like the main features, well, then the gravy's probably not going to make the main features taste a whole lot better. So let's look at what you're getting. So let's look at points earning first. You're going to get 3 points per dollar on Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines flights booked with the card. You are going to get 3 points per dollar on dining purchases with the card. And you also are going to get 3 points per dollar on foreign purchases with the card. So if you're someone that travels internationally often, you're going to get 3 points per dollar on all the purchases you make when you're outside of the United States. All of your other purchases on the card are going to get you 1 point per dollar. Also, I will mention here that if you have a Bank of America account, you can also get an extra 10% on these rewards, which means 3.3 points on your Alaska and Hawaiian tickets and your dining and your foreign purchases, and then 1.1 point on everything else. So you would just need to have a Bank of America either checking or savings or CD or Merrill account that has some money in it. So not a huge hurdle there to get a little extra on all of these points. New cardholder bonus, pretty big on this card. You can earn 100,000 Atmos Rewards points plus a 25K Global Companion Award that you can use to take a companion with you, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you will earn this bonus if you spend $6,000 with the card in the first 3 months of having it. So obviously a big spend up front, but those 100,000 points, I would probably say they're worth at least 1.1 cents per point, so probably at least $1,100 worth of flights there. Some people would tell you that they are worth more than that, but that's sort of my conservative estimate. Now let's talk about that 25K Global Companion Award, because this is very important to the card overall, because it is not only something that you can earn as part of the bonus, it is also something that you are going to get every year that you continue to have the card. So if you earn that bonus, you're going to get this 25K award, but every year that you pay the annual fee, you're going to get another 25K Global Companion Award. So here's what you need to know about that. The way it works is that you get to use up to 25,000 points toward your companion's tickets when they fly with you, but you should know that this is only when you yourself are using your awards points for award travel. So it's not like you can pay for your ticket and then use points for the other person's and then just take 25K off of whatever the points are for them. You have to be buying your ticket with points, and then you have to be buying their ticket with points, and depending on what the amount is of their ticket, you would get 25K off of that. So if you took a flight and it was 60K points, you'd pay your 60K, and then that companion award would allow you to take 25K off, and then you would only be paying 35K for that person. But overall, of course, between the two of you, you would be paying 95K even after having that 25K discount. So hopefully that makes sense, because every year you're going to get this 25,000 point companion award, but if you aren't earning points at a fast enough rate, and you aren't going to be able to actually pay for both yourself and the other person, even if it is at a reduced rate on their ticket, well then obviously the 25K award could potentially go to waste, because it's only good for 1 year and then you won't be able to use it. So it's not like you can just save up points forever and then you can use as many 25K awards as you have. You've got 1 year to use them, which means you're going to have enough points in your account to cover both you and the other person, or what's left of their ticket after you use that 25K pass. And then I should also mention here, for the big spenders, if you spend $60,000 with the card in a year, you're actually going to get, in addition to the 25K pass that you would get every year, you would earn a 100,000 point companion award, but still the same deal there, where you would have to be paying for one of the seats, your own seat as the card holder, with award points, and then you would get up to 100,000 points that you could use against the other person's ticket. So those are all important considerations. Other things that could sway your decision on this card: each year you are going to get 8 passes to Alaska Air airport lounges. Those are going to be split up into 2 passes per quarter. Each pass is going to be for one person, and it can be for up to 2 children as well. But if you are traveling with someone, obviously you would use your 2 passes right off the bat if you have 2 adults. And then obviously if you traveled with Alaska Air more than once in a particular quarter, it could be frustrating to know that you can use 2 of the passes, but some of those other passes that are, reserved sort of for later in the year would not be available to you at that time. So they're chopping them up by quarter. You can use 2 passes per quarter, and again, you can have 2 children with 1 adult on each of those passes. Now, if Alaska Air status is important to you, you are going to earn 1 point for every $2 that you spend on this card. Each year after the first year, you are going to get 10,000 points that also go towards status. Now, status levels in the Alaska Airlines Atmos program here are going to be 20,000 points to get you to silver status, 40,000 points to gold, and then on up from there. So if you spend an awful lot on this card, you can get yourself pretty high up on that ladder. If you're not going to be a huge spender on this card, well, then you're going to need to be doing a decent amount of flying with Alaska Airlines otherwise in order to get yourself to one of those levels. Another interesting feature of this card that you won't see very often is the potential to get a $50 voucher for sort of travel incidentals if your Alaska Airlines flight is either delayed for more than 2 hours or canceled altogether. So you can use that $50 voucher for certain things within a 48-hour period, but this isn't something you're going to see very often with other credit cards on the market. So I would say those are probably the most interesting things to focus on with this card, but there is sort of a laundry list of other stuff that I'm going to mention right now too. Some of this is sort of the expected on almost any travel card that you're paying an annual fee with. Some of this is going to be extra and maybe a little interesting, but none of it is probably the focus of getting this card. It is probably the gravy, like I said earlier. So first off, you have 1 free checked bag per flight for the person that holds the card, and then up to 6 other people in addition. You would get some early boarding in boarding group C. There is a credit for global entry or TSA pre-check that we generally see on these types of cards. Every year, 8 Wi-Fi passes to be used on the plane. I believe those are also broken up by calendar quarter. This is a Visa Infinite card, and so there are some travel protections that come as part of the Visa Infinite program, and then other travel protections that I don't know where they're coming from. But you've got things like baggage insurances, whether it's lost or damaged, trip cancellation, or interruption insurance, which is separate from that $50 voucher that we talked about, some auto rental collision protections, and things of those natures. No foreign transaction fees, which stands to reason considering you're getting a 3% sort of reward on your foreign purchases. You certainly wouldn't want to be paying any extra in fees. And Alaska here also makes kind of a big deal about the fact that you can also take your points and transfer them into some hotel partners, but I don't think any of these would really be all that great of a deal, so only if you were desperate. But Marriott, IHG, Wyndham, and a couple others in there. All right, with all that said, what do we think of this card? Well, I think for some people it could be right down the lane, the Goldilocks card for them. If you are somebody that can use that Global Companion Award every year, you're going to earn enough points that you're going to be able to pay for an award for yourself and a partial award for someone else, probably in most cases, then that's going to go a long way toward justifying the annual fee on this card. If you are someone seeking status and you can spend a lot lot on this card, well, then that's going to take you a long way towards status, especially after the first year when you're going to get an extra 10,000 points there. Then you have the lounge passes that I think are okay for some people, probably feel stingy to others. 8 per year for a lot of people is totally going to cover them, although it is annoying that they are chopped up per quarter. For some people, they just want unlimited access, and that is going to be a bit of a turnoff, and obviously that is up to you. So there obviously are some people that are really going to like this card. The more you spend on this card, the more you fly with Alaska Air and Hawaiian Airlines, well, then the happier you are going to be with the things that you are seeing here, because you're going to be racking up those points. You're going to be getting those 3 points per dollar on international purchases. If you are someone that travels a lot outside of the US, that's obviously something really interesting as well. So for certain people, great, especially if you can use that companion award every year. For other people, pretty hard to justify this card because you do have to spend a lot to get the most out of it. If you're not going to earn enough points to get that companion award, or at least be able to use that companion award every year, well, then paying $3.95 for this card doesn't make sense. Those lounge passes aren't going to be something that puts you over the edge, and any of the things that I sort of called gravy here aren't going to be things that are really going to justify this card to you either. So for some people, yes. For a lot of people, this card is probably not going to fit the bill, because you do have to earn a lot of points, in my opinion, in order for this to really make sense every year. Would love to hear your thoughts about it in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching.